Today we're going to show you how we plant a tree in a pot. This one's an apple tree. Hello everybody, this is Dwayne with Edge of Nowhere Farm, and we're here on a really nice, beautiful evening, third week of September. It's fall. I don't know, first day of fall was a couple days ago, I think. Anyway, today did not disappoint. We were probably in the mid 80s here. Started out a little crisp this morning in the mid 50s. Just a beautiful, beautiful day. Wish you could be here with us. We're finishing out today's activities. We've been a very, very busy day around the farm, but we're finishing it out this evening before we hit the sack with planting another apple tree. We've already planted 3 today. We got another apple tree we're going to plant in our garden area. So now, one note on our garden area, please don't poke fun. We haven't actually started our vegetable garden yet. Been here 3 years and haven't grown a single vegetable. We started with fruit trees, continue with fruit trees, are still working on our fruit trees, and we're committed to eventually starting our veggies, and hopefully that'll be this winter. But we did already get the beds in. That was part of our prep. And so what you're seeing in this area, we're actually inside our garden area. We have a big concrete pot that we purchased from Lowe's. It was under $100. I want to say it was $60 or $70, but a nice big pot. The reason why we're having to do a pot here in the middle is our irrigation lines that go to each one of our beds go right underneath the middle here and then tee out, branch out to either direction and get to either one of our each one of our beds. So it's the reason why this pot's here, because we can't put anything in the ground, but we wanted to have something in the middle that looked kind of nice. What you can't see, what we may do maybe towards the end of the video, is pan around what you can see from the inside. We're actually surrounded by all of our grapevines. So we've got 16 grapevines, which we've shown you before, but we're actually inside that area, so it's really, really beautiful. What you see behind me is still a gray wall. We've got some ideas on what we're going to do there so that we're actually just encompassed by green in here, just going to be really beautiful. Anyhow, as a centerpiece, we're going to actually have this pot, and we're going to have an apple tree. The apple tree that we've decided on is an apple tree that we got. We've already talked about him before in prior videos, but it's an apple tree that we got from RSI Growers and Reed with RSI Growers. He's in Glendale, Arizona, grows local, or actually he starts them from scratch. So he actually grows the rootstock. He grafts them there on the property, does a great job with pome fruit and also with peaches, plums, apricots, all of your stone fruits. So, but does a fantastic job of that. We've had some great luck. We've got a big, massive Golden Dorsett tree that's already 6 or 7 feet across, probably a good 7 or 8 feet tall. Produced a couple bucketfuls, five-gallon bucketfuls of apples for us. That's the same tree. So obviously it's a lot smaller, but that's the same tree. So we're going to give this a shot in the pot. We're going to see how he does. And we wanted to kind of show you what we're going to do. We've actually already have 4 trees here in the garden area. They're all dwarf varieties. It's 4 different types of kumquats. So we've got them in each one of the corners. So we've already done this a few times, so we know what does work well and what doesn't. One note, what we found out very quickly does not work well, even with citrus, is any type of citrus blend that you would get from a big box store. It's usually like a palm, cactus, and citrus blend for potting soil. If you're in Arizona, skip it, is my opinion. It drains too fast, especially if you're anywhere near concrete or block. It's just way too hot. It drains way too fast. I mean, we're watering every day, sometimes twice a day, and they're still struggling. So, so we're going back to the potting soil that's actually worked really, really well with our other potted plants here on the farm. So that's actually what we're going to use. You'll recognize this. It is organic, easy to find, inexpensive. We got about a bag and a half of it, so plenty to fill up this pot. What we actually will start with are these rocks, these decorative rocks here on my right-hand side. So those will go in the base. There is a hole in the base of the pot for drainage. So we're going to start out with those. We'll fill probably about an inch or maybe 2 of the very bottom. Not that the pot necessarily needs more weight. It's extremely heavy being made out of concrete, but it does give it a little bit more weight. More importantly, it actually sifts and keeps the hole from being clogged by the soil. It does a very effective job at that, so it doesn't clog up. So we're going to have that as its base. Also helps keep the soil from getting waterlogged. So we've found that it does just a really, really good job with our potted plants. So we're going to start with that. Then we're going to have our soil. Obviously, we'll work our tree into that. We're going to give plenty of space for wood chips. What you see behind me here is a bucket of wood chips. We've got 2 5-gallon buckets, which should be enough wood chips to get on the top, not inside the soil, on the top of the soil, to help keep moisture and retain moisture in there. And then last but not least, what we have in that bucket or in the water can is about 2 gallons of water, about a tablespoon of fish emulsion, and a couple tablespoons of vitamin B1 to help with root development. So we're going to get started, and we're actually going to let you guys watch us plant this. Won't take us very long, just a few minutes here, and we'll get this thing planted. So stay tuned. Okay, so we finished our potted tree planting. So we've got our newly planted Golden Dorsett apple tree here in our beautiful garden. Day's winding down, the sun just set, you know, it's about 80 degrees. I can kind of peek out and I can see a little bit of the yard and what the pasture is going to be, and just been a beautiful, beautiful fall day. So glad you guys could spend some time with us. Hopefully you learned a little bit with a potted fruit tree. We're looking forward to seeing how this does here in our garden area as we get to work on these garden beds hopefully this winter. So this has been Dwayne and Lori reminding you, if we can farm on the edge of nowhere, so can you. Hello everybody. My words are getting jumbled. All right, so there we go. So just want to remind you, this is Dwayne and Lori saying now, you need to do more than that. So just want to remind you, bye.